Yes, everybody, good morning. Welcome back to Forever United TV. Welcome back to another show, keeping you completely up to date with everything going on around Manchester United. It's press conference day ahead of the big one tomorrow, the chance for Ruben Amorim to actually unleash his £200 million plus spending spree this summer in one game. Are we about to see all four new signings for the first time in a game against Brentford? The mistake that Ruben has been making throughout his time at Manchester United, pretty much all summed up so far this season. Being too afraid to play new players. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about what Ruben is planning in the future alongside Inos and the players that have been told that are leaving this summer, compared to the players, like we spoke about last night, that are not leaving Manchester United. Apparently, we'll continue that conversation that we had last night because it sparks up a big debate on whether or not Manchester United should be giving new contracts to the old leadership group, like Harry Maguire. Is it because Harry Maguire is in that leadership group that he is actually okay and deserves another contract? Is it too soft from Manchester United? I don't know if we can really blame Ruben Amorim on this. This is a club culture thing all along. But what Ruben can do is, for the first time this season, the first time in his Manchester United career, is shut everybody up by winning the game tomorrow against Brentford and getting 2 games in a row. Well, winning 2 games in a row anyway. Get your thoughts into the live comment section, everybody, as well on this morning. It does feel like there is a little bit more of a optimistic vibe around the Manchester United fan base. People messaging me, people talking on different debates and podcasts about Manchester United going into this game. Is this the moment? Is this the time? It feels like it is, but there is also that horrible, tiny little bit of fear at the back of our minds that Manchester United are going to do what they've always done and everything that we hoped. I actually feel like if they don't get the win tomorrow, Manchester United, a lot of the fan base will just be like, this is never going to happen. That's what it feels like. When I talk about the mistake that I think Ruben Amorim has been making as well, and get your opinions on this so far this season, he just, well, we'll get into it anyway. We'll get into your thoughts on this also, but hope you're all doing fantastically well. By the way, last night the tickets went on sale for the in-person pub watch-along. Limited spaces available. Tickets already flying off. The link is in the live chat there. The link is also on the community post section as well on this channel, everybody. We will drop it into the description later on as well for anybody playing catch-up. So don't be afraid to get in there and get your tickets quickly now. They're on sale. They went on sale last night and are already flying. There are limited numbers, remember, everybody. So if you want to be part of the show and be on the watch along in the pub coming up against Spurs not next month, but in November the 8th, then get onto that link now and get your tickets fast before they sell out. Right, let's get into the show. Let's get talking Manchester United, everybody. In terms of the news was all big yesterday. Manchester United extra training sessions for Ruben Amorim, from Ruben Amorim for Kobbie Mainoo, Ruben trying to turn, apparently, Kobbie Mainoo into a new number 6. He wants to play alongside Bruno Fernandes and not against Bruno Fernandes, competing for that place. We'll touch on that in a minute. That was out last night, but Manchester United, with this chance this weekend against Brentford, for Ruben Amorim in particular, to finally get that win over the line. That back-to-back win is important. Are we about to finally see him unleash all of his signings from the summer in one game? That front three, loads of reports coming out from Carrington and loads of reports from Manchester United correspondents over the last couple of days about the Benjamin Sesko, Matthias Cunha link-up and everything that's happened there. Obviously on fire. We talked about this the other day as well, about Sesko really impressing in training. Bruno Fernandes talking glowingly about Sam Mather, who stepped in for Nus Mazraoui. We're going to hear about him today in the press conference and how bad that injury is. Obviously, we reported last night that Nus obviously was not in the pictures for the open training, well, not open training, but the training in and around the Manchester United channel MUTV. The pictures from there not having Nus Mazraoui in it. The only player alongside Licha Martinez who wasn't on them pictures. So we're expecting that from Ruben today. Don't forget the press conference we will have covered live here on Forever United TV. About 1:15 today, and then we're going to get into the comments around about 1:30 from Ruben Amorim. So we'll bring you all the up-to-date news later on, and obviously the press conference reaction where Ruben will be giving us an indication whether or not he is going to play Senna Lamens, Brian Mbeumo, Matthias Cunha and Benjamin Sesko, the £220 million overhaul of the summer of the goalkeeping and the striking department at Manchester United. Are we going to see that for the first time? Why not play your new players? This has been a question that Ruben Amorim has been asked constantly and has been talked about constantly throughout the season from the fans, pundits, everybody asking questions. If you're not going to go out and get a certain goalkeeper, then why are you not playing the one that you did go and get? Like, we made a big effort to get Senna Lammens in at Manchester United. We spoke last night glowingly about him and what's been said and how impressive he's been in training. And the word is from Manchester United sources that Senna Lammens is going to play tomorrow. I'm more interested to see how we get Sesko and Bumo and Cunha playing on the pitch, to be honest. I think that's the big one for all Man United fans. I want to see them three play. I want to see them three start to build some form of partnership now. I want Mbumo on that right-hand side, Cunha on the left and Sesko up front. Everything that was ploughed into this summer, and it was a big summer. We covered it in depth here on the channel. Everything that went on in this summer about Manchester United getting rid of the players that we need to get rid of and bringing in the players that we did do. This is the one game now where it's all come together. Everybody's fresh. Everybody's had a full week of training. The vibes from training are really good. Everything looks like it's now moving forward towards seeing this for the first time. And I'm excited. I just pray that it doesn't all fall flat and we don't get anything from this game against Brentford. I cannot see United not having a deadly strike force with them three up front. I cannot see us not creating and not scoring. I just can't. I still don't feel confident in Manchester United winning the game tomorrow. Like I said, I'm looking at everything building up and I'm going along with it and I'm happy about it. I actually feel like Manchester United are in a good place right now. I feel like the squad is good and I'm really pleased with everything that I'm hearing regarding the injuries, people's form in training. It's all good and well, and I cannot say that that's not good. But again, it's all going to come down to results for Manchester United until they show me in another game away from home against the run-of-the-mill team where we always struggle, and we did last season under Ruben. And you can look at all of them games that we're talking about there. Like this same one last season, United were battered by Brentford. You're talking all of the mid-table teams that Manchester United didn't win a game against. We didn't even win away against Ipswich, who were relegated last season. Only just a couple of the away games that we did win were against an atrocious Leicester and Southampton side away from home. We need to start changing our form away from home. We need to give something back to the away fans as well, because, again, they have been travelling and supporting Ruben Amorim and this team throughout the back end of that shocking last season as well. So, yeah, I'm not convinced by it yet, and I don't think that Manchester United are fully there yet either. But we are, I feel, in a good place right now, and I think the one mistake that we've had is not starting Sesko and integrating him in quickly. I think that sort of stop-start to a season for Benjamin Sesko has really, I feel, hampered Manchester United. We cannot say too much about Bayindir, but again, like, why did you not bring your goalkeeper in that first game against Manchester City? Would it have made any difference? Could he have organised anything better? Look, at the end of the day, the goalkeeper and what we're trying to say here should have been brought in before the season started. That's the big mistake. So the way that he dealt with Andre Onana, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, because Andre Onana doesn't deserve any preferential treatment at all after his performances for Manchester United. But what we are seeing, I think all Man United fans, is why did we not buy a goalkeeper earlier on in the window and start the season with a new goalkeeper? We should have been starting the season with Senna Lammens. We tracked him all the way through the summer, and we know we did. Romano was talking about having Senna Lammens in Man United's side for the season coming for months. There was always a chance United would buy a goalkeeper. Why did we dilly-dally on it? That's probably the biggest mistake. That's the mistake. That, look, we have just about kept our heads above water, but we cannot afford to drop any more points in these types of games. Get these points in the bag, beat Sunderland at home, go into the Liverpool game, and the pressure isn't as high. That game could be anything. Win, lose or draw. I don't think anybody's going to look at it in too much depth. As long as Manchester United are competitive in that game, if United lose, I don't think anybody's going to look at that and say United are on the decline. But what you have got off the back of that, if it does go wrong against Liverpool, is 3 wins in a row and comfortably up there. And you can lose to Liverpool and then bounce back again, possibly against Brighton and Nottingham Forest in the next games. And then a West Ham. And then you're back on again, then going into the next international break. And before you know it, you're into December And Manchester United are comfortably in the European places because we've won the games we should win. And nobody's talking major dramas at Manchester United. Ruben's safe, and we're then into the January transfer window where we could possibly, like we were talking about yesterday, go out and buy a midfielder and then really push forward in the back end of the season. It has to now, I feel, he has to start playing the players that he has brought in. He has to start playing them players because that's what everybody's focusing on. What's Ruben's team? What Ruben can do with his players. Now he's been given the backing. Now he's been given the players. Now we've got a perfect chance. And this is why I think everybody feels a little bit more upbeat and a little bit more optimistic going into a game. Because we are going to see Sesko, we're going to see Mbeumo, we're going to see Cunha for the first time. We're going to see a new goalkeeper. We've got options coming in at centre-back in terms of who Senna Lamens can work with. You've got Leacher coming back in there as well. Obviously, we're talking De Ligt and Yoro having good seasons so far, being solid. Honestly, I don't care for Luke Shaw. I'm really not bothered if he's out the side. But I think looking ahead, we could possibly see that front three. And I'm saying this because we haven't got many games. That front three up, and then you could have a back line there set up of Leacher, De Ligt and Lenny Yoro at the back with Senna Lamens behind them. You fix that midfield then in January and bring another body in there, then you're really talking. And you're talking actual squad depth to mount a serious challenge. And I don't care what anybody says. I really don't. There is no excuse for Manchester United not to finish top 6 minimum going into the back end of this season. And, well, it sounds a bit crazy me saying that because obviously I'm not confident United will get the win tomorrow. What I'm saying there, everything is there for him. Ruben needs to now show with what's been brought in and what players he's got that he can get Manchester United into the top 6 comfortably. He should be there. Do I think it's going to happen? I need to see more, like I said, but the signs are good. I like the players that are in this team at the moment. I really do. I like the attitude of the players that are in this team. And I look at that and I go, if it does not work now, if it doesn't work in these next few games for Ruben Amorim, I don't think it will do ever. Like, you look at it, this is the thing. It's like the big mistake that Ruben has made, I feel, is not allowing these players to express themselves on the pitch within this system. I think that's where we're at with it. So I don't think he's played the right players a lot of the time in this system. I think he has got an opportunity here now. And what I mean by this is, and what I mean by Ruben Amorim now having no excuse and it never working if it doesn't work now in the next couple of weeks, is you're up against the, no disrespect, the lesser sides now. You've got an opportunity with everyone available. You've got one of the most deadliest strike forces in the Premier League on paper. This has to work now. If it doesn't work now, then I think, and look, everything changes in time, but I just look at everything, what the media are going to do, what the narrative is going to be, what agendas are going to be driven if we don't beat Brentford and Sunderland now. And then you're looking at the games that we've actually got coming up, then it's Liverpool, and there's a pretty good chance that we're not going to get a decent result against Liverpool. And then you're looking at, off the back of beating Chelsea, 3 bad results. Look, honestly, I think that Manchester United are there. I think we've got enough. And I think we've got enough to stay where we are and go further off, as in the top 6. I really do. And I think the biggest thing I'm trying to make from this, or the main point I'm trying to make from this, is that Ruben now with this team, I'm confident that another manager would get Manchester United into that top 4 with this squad with no European football. It's there for the taking. It really is. I'm not rating Manchester City. I'm not rating Chelsea at the moment. They're not really pulling up many trees. Bournemouth are in there at the moment and Spurs are in there at the moment. They can chop and change. They're in just a similar position to what we are right now. It's that Spurs have got Champions League to deal with and we don't. Man United should be taking advantage of this right now. And I'm not going to let Ruben off if he does actually fail at this point. Like, he needs to start winning these games now. And I think we have got the right team. I think they do believe in him. I'm doing the big build-up here and I'm making this sound like it's impossible for us to lose. But then again, what is it inside me that feels like we're going to fall down as well at some point here as well? It's such a strange feeling because I am confident, but I'm not. If that doesn't make sense, does it? But it's just the way that this team makes you feel going into a game. And that's my feeling as a Man United fan. Like, heart on my sleeve, I look at the squad and I go, how the hell are we not comfortable? How the hell are we not really confident going into this game? And then I look at what's happened before, the mentality, and I think, yeah, that's why I'm worried. Because I just want this to now be put to bed. The no back-to-back wins for Ruben Amorim, just put it to bed this weekend, please. If we do that, then I think United will move forward. If we don't, I just don't think we ever will. I don't think we ever will. Because then we're going to beat Sunderland. Yeah, that'll be a bounce back. All right, we go into the international break off the back of a win. There's no guarantee against Sunderland either. But then you're back to Liverpool. You're not expected to win that. And then that's another game gone. And then you go to got Brighton at home, who we haven't beaten the last 3 times at Old Trafford. You're not only fully confident about that. But if you've won a few games going into that Brighton game, you're actually thinking, you know what, this time it might be different. But I just don't want to be falling back again to where we was before. I feel like this is the moment. It has to be this weekend. Brentford has to be a game United win. It's the perfect opportunity with the squad that we've got. And honestly, touching wood, praying, crossing absolutely everything that this happens. We'll get into the comment section and let me know your thoughts on this now. It is getting into that stage of the week now where it is like, right, okay, let's be honest. How do we feel? What is going to happen in this game now? We've done all the talking throughout the week. We've covered all the angles in and around Manchester United. It's your chance now to give me your thought on what you think might actually happen in this game. Like I said, we've got the press conference coming up later on, so we'll cover all of the news from that. That's going to be your major update for today. And then everything else is just gearing towards this game and how important it is now. We'll absolutely be buzzing if we see Senna Lammens in goal tomorrow. You know what? He's unproven in the Premier League, but it will give me that little bit of belief that we're not just expecting something to go wrong. Do you know what I mean by that? It's like when we had Anana and Bayindir in goal, we were expecting something to go wrong. And now there's a chance it might not go wrong. I'll take that at the moment. I will. But that is where I am at the moment as a fan. Like waking up this morning, I'm like, right, this is it today. This is it. This is like the build-up, the last day, the press conference today. They're all going to do the talking, and then it's down to the walking, innit? It's one of them as a fan right now, because we've had so long to wait for this bleeding game. Everything's building up in your head now. Was I over the top in what I said with that? Should Manchester United be winning this game? Brentford out a million miles away from us. It all just starts creeping in, doesn't it? Manny in the Super Chat is giving him his team, actually, for tomorrow. My team would be Lammens, Yoro, De Ligt and Mazraoui at the back 3. Ahmad, Bruno, Mainu, Dorgu, the middle 4. Then Cunha, Sesko and Bumo. It's time. United 3-0. Sesko will open his account. Sorry, lights flashing. Ruben's big problem is he's too risk averse. Sticking with the old guard, Dalot, Shaw, Maguire, Casemiro, keeping Bruno. We need to move past them. Brian, that's a good point, leading in with what we said in the title, actually, in what Ruben's been doing wrong and what Ruben has been doing that has really, I think, slowed him down, because he's got players there that haven't really made it at Manchester United, haven't done enough at Manchester United, that are still at Manchester United. In the fans' opinions, like we said last night, why would we want to give Harry Maguire another contract? Why don't we just try and make a clean break and a fresh start at Manchester United? And that's what a lot of fans are asking right now. Why can't we just let him go? Like, I understand, and there's an argument to keep Harry Maguire, and I made my point about it last night as well. But still, there's like fans there that are saying, look, if you really want to make change, stop playing the players that have failed at Manchester United over the last 5 years. And then we can actually see. Give everybody else a chance. This is why people will say, leave Bruno out the side tomorrow. This is why people will say, don't start Shaw, don't start Maguire, don't start Dalot tomorrow. Let's play that back 3. Let's play Mazraoui. Let's play De Ligt. Let's play Yoro. All brand new signings. We've got Lammens in as well. They're 4 Ineos signings. Dorgu, 5 Ineos signings. Ahmad, you could say, is one of the only players that Ineos have given a new contract to. So you could say that's a fresh start as well. Automatically there already, you've got 6 players that are Ineos players right there. Kobe Mainu and Bruno Fernandes, Manuel Ugarte, you've not really got much option there in the midfield area to say that that is a complete change. We are deprived of numbers in that area, let's just say that. But then you've got your front 3. So basically what we're saying here, tomorrow, there is a chance that we could play 9 Ineos players. in this starting lineup. And then fans will be convinced that change is coming. Fans will be convinced because you haven't got Shaw. You haven't got Dalot in this side. You haven't got Maguire in this side. You haven't got the old players coming back and playing for Manchester United here. It is a brand new look Manchester United with no bad habits, I don't feel anyway, and progression. And that team, when you think about it, and you look at the age of them 9 players at Manchester United, that should be the basis for Manchester United now for what? The next 5 years at least, looking at the age. Mazraoui being the oldest at 27. I think coming on to 27 now. At that, I think there is the future of Manchester United. You add some midfield in there, then you're really talking a complete transformation. We are almost there. Almost there with a completely new side. I just said it then. 9 Inos players. I'm making a case for Ahmad because I think he was shafted by Ten Hag and has earned his new contract for me. And I think he is and has been a breath of fresh air for Manchester United. Not had a great start to the season, but I think a bit more consistency, and I think him having a constant role in the sides instead of being chopped and changed everywhere, I think you'll get even more out of Ahmad. But right there, that proves, doesn't it, that Manchester United can actually have a whole different look team going into this game tomorrow. I know we're not going to have the situation where we are, obviously, Bruno is still going to be there in the midfield. He's still going to be a problem. I do think that Manchester United right now are in the best place possible, I think, with Ruben Amorim since he's been in. I do. I think this is it. It happens now or it doesn't happen. I'm going to get into some of the comments as well before we get into the other news on this one. Just wanted to gauge the overall overriding feeling on what's happening now with the fans, how you're feeling about Manchester United. So I'm going to go through as many comments as I possibly can now off the back of that. I'd be more confident if we could win 3 or 4 games in a row. Amorim needs to be able to do that. Otherwise, we just keeping a manager because we don't want to sack another person. That's from Boxing. Andrew says, Adam, yes, I also look at the squad and think we should win a lot more games than we do. We have to have that winning mentality. Come on, United. Ant says, Amorim won't make excuses. He never has. But we also can't just ignore realism just from our desire to be good again. We are an unbalanced side, unbalanced team. But have we got enough to beat Brentford and Sunderland? That's what we're saying. Have we got enough in that team that I just said there? Have we got enough characters to understand what Ruben wants? Yes, we do. If we play Kobbie Mainoo and Bruno Fernandes with that ring around them, basically, that's the two in the middle, isn't it? The 2 players that everybody's talking about. It's that area, them 2 midfielders. Is anybody else going to change what I just picked around them players there? Ahmad one side, Dorgu the other side of them 2 midfielders. Sesko, Cunha and Mbeumo in front of them 2 midfielders. And then Mazraoui, De Ligt and Yoro behind them with Lamens behind them. It's getting there. It's getting there. It's just that middle bit. And that team is good enough to stay in amongst the European places before we go out and get that midfielder in January for me. That's the point I'm trying to make on this. Got to win the next 2 games and I think we'll hold a draw against Liverpool, says Joe there. Look, if you're going into Liverpool off the back of 3 straight wins, and then you're thinking there with confidence that, you know what, after the international break, Liverpool may be a bit cold from internationals, few players coming back, not quite there. No real momentum picked up yet. I know they're winning games, Liverpool, and it's not looking good for the rest of the league right now. But still, when you look at that, you've got to say that United could go into Anfield off the back of 3 wins and maybe scrape a draw like we did last season. We've done it before when we were even worse. So I am confident that Manchester United could get something at Anfield. I do think that is a definite possibility. It's going to be tough, don't get me wrong, but still, there's no reason why we shouldn't go into that game off the back of 3 wins with a bit of confidence to maybe get a draw out of it. And then you're really talking. You're really talking. Let me just see what else we've got in here quickly, trying to mix up the comments. 100% agreed with the comment, been saying it for a while now. Senior players that need to all go. We need to get rid of all of them. We have got a poll running as well. Start the 4 new players tomorrow. Would you start the new 4 players tomorrow? Do you think we're going to start the new 4 players tomorrow? In fact, the poll, start them 4 new players tomorrow. Would you do that for Manchester United? 90% of you have said yes. I'd be interested to know the 10% and what you think, why, and who you would put in that side instead of Sesko, Cunha, and Mbumo and Senna Lamens. Who would you play in their place? Some people don't feel like Bainder's done too much wrong. The stats would show that in terms of save percentage, he's right there in the relegation zone now this season as well. Look, everything needs to be switched on and properly run and running well in Manchester United's team. I think the connection between Sesko, Cunha and Mbumo could be the saviour of Ruben Amorim. And Senna Lamens, I think them 3 up front and that goalkeeper, that could be the difference between 10 and 15 points for Manchester United this season. Winners up front, goal scorers, creators, and then you've got someone who will keep you in a game. It's like Baindir and Onana just didn't save enough. They weren't ever known for making that one-off save. Remember what De Gea did? Like, he would just make a save out of nowhere and keep you in the game, keep you alive. It just goes in. It's like every time someone shoots, it just goes in. I want to get rid of that feeling. I don't want to have that thought in my head. And like I said at the top of this show, that's the feeling that comes to Manchester United. You just feel like something's going to go wrong when you've got them 2 in goal. Whereas Lamens just gives me that hope that this is it. Maybe, I don't know if Lamens is going to adapt to the Premier League. I can't say or predict that it is going to be a turning point in the goalkeeping department for Manchester United. But to have just a different feeling going into the game tomorrow, I think if we're thinking it, then the team is going to be thinking it. And look, they've played with him all week. They've trained with him all week. And if he is as good as what they are saying in training, then maybe that gives a bit of a boost to the players going into the game tomorrow as well. Maguire's stock is at its highest right now, so get rid of him in January if possible. We've got better cover coming up. It's that whole leadership thing with Maguire. Again, the debate on Harry Maguire is always going to rumble on, I feel. But I don't get how Manchester United feel they have to cling on to these senior players. There is enough there. Look, these players have been in amongst it while Manchester United are going through their worst time. Surely when you look at it, you would go, right, you're looking to try and keep hold of the professionalism of Harry Maguire. Why don't we look at what went right and what went wrong? Well, not much went right for Manchester United. So really, why not act like a big club, like every other big club would, and start to move these players on no matter what, and then deal with it after that? Instead of looking at, we might keep Maguire on a reduced contract, and that thought actually still being there, why don't we just say he's gone and we need to obviously bring somebody else through, and that's the plan. I said last night, and the only argument I had last night was, if United don't have enough money and everything's got to be ploughed into that midfield, which is the priority for me, and Harry Maguire's on a rolling contract on about 80 grand a week wages, that would be the only way. That would be the only way that I actually I could see Maguire staying, to be honest. But yeah, it's the old guard. Bring in the new is what I say. Like I said before, at the top of the show, Sesko and Cunha and their goal-scoring form in training, the link-up. I know it's training. I know that it's not on the pitch, and I know that it's not where it matters. That's going to be tomorrow. But look, I'll cling on to any positive I can at the moment. But these are the things that I was thinking would help United this season. The fact that they have got chance to build relationships in training, understand each other's game a bit more, and more time to nail down certain systems and ways of playing on the training ground instead of travelling all over the place in Europe. Like, if United can't take advantage of this, if Ruben can't take advantage of a season without European football and get United up the Premier League, then there's no hope for him at all, really. There's no excuse whatsoever now. There is nothing left. I'm going to get into the other news as well now. Keep your comments coming in on this and your thoughts on Manchester United and where we're at and what you feel is going to happen this weekend and from this point. ATKO quickly, just before we go into that. We don't sell our best players. That has been awesome for 6 years and bring back a sloppy youth who watches headers but can make recovery tackles. We need leaders and new players must earn the right. I don't get where you're going with that one, ATKO, at all, and who you're alluding to. Like, is it Maguire? Maguire, let's not forget, has been up and down at Manchester United, and he's old. He's old. Like, it's time to move on. You didn't see Chelsea keeping hold of Thiago Silva, did you? Do you know what I mean? Like, bigger clubs have a bigger plan. And I think Manchester United need to be looking past that and looking past Maguire and do what we did last summer. There is a big plan, and there are certain players, according to the tabloids and the reports this morning, that have already been told that they're out of the door, which makes the Harry Maguire conversation quite relevant, really, because the likes of Casemiro has been told he's done, he's finished at Manchester United. Malacia and Jadon Sancho, all of them players, their contracts are up at the end of the summer. United are not even looking for a fee. They're just letting them go, releasing them players. That's the report that's going around at the moment. That's what I'm talking about. It's like, it's not worked. You've clung on to Manchester United forever and a day. You've leached off the football club, not Casemiro, but Malacia, Sancho, players like this. We're now just going to let you go, and you go and deal with your own career from this point. That's what big clubs do. They just say, no problem, see you later, thank you. To be honest, Manchester United are about to rake in millions off the back of these wages that these players are on. It's absolutely staggering the amount of money that this club is about to save off the back of. And when I did a show the other day actually talking about Manchester United's plan, where Ruben needs to finish this season for Inos to financially survive and keep in with their plan for the future, 6th place Europa League football is a must for Manchester United at least. They need to get that. So FA Cup is important. Getting in the top 5 is important for Manchester United at the moment. That's the target for Ruben this season. Manchester United's plan, alongside having European football, the gate receipts that would bring, the prize money that would also bring, the chance to attract players in as well, that would bring. Because like we said before, 2 years out of Europe, other players are thinking maybe United are really on the decline and they lose that pull. But financially, with these players going as well, Manchester United will have quite a substantial amount of money to spend going into the transfer window. So it is going to be interesting how we deal with Maguire off the back of the other players leaving. It's going to come down to what these players are on and what they earn. I don't see Casemiro wanting to drop a massive wage. I don't see Manchester United wanting to keep Casemiro. I don't know why Maguire is different. Has he got different leadership qualities that we don't know about and don't see within and around Manchester United? I'm guessing what Harry Maguire brings, because we don't know. We can only listen to what people are saying. Everyone does love Harry Maguire. I know that within the club, from what I've seen, he's a really likeable guy. He can be a leader. A lot of former pros and teammates of Harry Maguire have been singing his praises, saying that's what's missing at England right now. But as a football club, I think United need to move forward. But Casemiro, Sancho, Malacia, these players are just going to be released in the summer from Manchester United. Why are we not doing the same with Harry Maguire? If you're convincing a fan base of change, an ownership model doing that says a lot to me. It's like, doesn't matter. We made a mistake. Them players are now gone. I'm not talking about Casemiro again. Casemiro has done a good 4 years at Manchester United. We can argue the good points and bad points about him, but at least he's been professional and given absolutely everything. You cannot say the same for the other two players. So, again, is this why we're thinking Maguire should stay at Manchester United? Look, I don't get why it's one rule for one and one for another, is all I'm saying. But a lot of people that I can see in the live chat right now are all saying the same thing. United should just cut ties, like, let it go. Stop clinging on to something that really, like, it's been good in moments, but ultimately has been a part of Manchester United's worst period ever. Like, just let it go. Let's start afresh. And I think that's where a lot of fans are actually at the moment with it. Other news as well. Let's just bring that up quickly for you. In terms of the Adam Wharton situation, again, we spoke about this last night. Is Adam Wharton moving ahead of Carlos Baleba as one of Manchester United's top targets? Manchester United are very interested in Adam Wharton from Crystal Palace, but are not ready to try and sign him during the January transfer window. I think we said that last night anyway. There was no way that United could get Wharton in January. They will try for him most likely in the summer, where they will face competition from Chelsea and Tottenham, possibly Liverpool again. But Manchester United should be making a point for any top target this summer. I feel like you are coming in and you are number one at Manchester United. This is where it needs to be, and that's the type of player you need to buy, like the Mbumo of the midfield world, and that would be an Adam Wharton for me. A Wharton, a Baleba, whoever it may be, these players are going to walk right into the starting 11, and that's where the money needs to be spent in the summer. Again, with that story, it's like yesterday's. I don't see Man United buying one of the top targets in January. Maybe another midfielder on loan or something like that. We did break down what Brighton were talking about with Carlos Baleba last night, and what Manchester United might have to do to get him. They're not going to do that in January. I don't think United are going to spend 100 million in January on Carlos Baleba. And Brighton want 150 million for him in the summer. That's where they value him on a Caicedo basis. He's nowhere near Caicedo at the moment. Adam Wharton has a gentleman's agreement to leave Crystal Palace this summer, and it looks like he will be gone this summer. He is leaving and going somewhere else. Again, the importance of Manchester United making it happen this season and getting back into Europe could bring us the quality players like Adam Wharton, Baleba, players like this, Elliot Anderson, not just for the spending power, but proving to these players that Manchester United aren't dead. And that goes right back to the start of this video in terms of why Manchester United need to now get this back-to-back win, put that to bed, maybe go on a string of wins and beat Sunderland as well, heading into Liverpool, and it just be the norm again. Winning needs to turn into being the norm again, and not what we win this game, but we might not continue into the next game. That feeling that I've got right now, that feeling that I'm not confident that United can get the win against Brentford tomorrow. I'm feeling like something's going to go wrong again. But Manchester United and everything that they're trying to build at Inos, it all falls into place in terms of what we've been talking about throughout the week. The plan and the financial plan for United, the projections and where the finances are going to be, building the new stadium, where this team needs to be competing for that to happen. It starts now. Like, there is no more room for Ruben Amorim. Like, the start of the season is in. Before you know it, we're into October now. And then we've got another international break, and then it's November. He's been here a year then. And then you're heading into the busy period of the season, the December period of the season, all building up to the January transfer window. And then, yeah, that's it. Decision needs to be made. So it's all about the now. It's all about beating Brentford tomorrow and then beating Sunderland next Saturday. They have to win these two games. Ruben needs to win these two games. And I think with the team that he's got, I think they'll do it. Well, they should do it anyway. I don't know. Like I said before, there's that horrible feeling that something's just going to go wrong with Manchester United all the time at the moment. I want this team to take that away from me. Show me tomorrow that we are not going to be that Manchester United side again. Please, United, please just show me that we have turned the corner officially now. We need this as a fan base right now. We really do. Right, let's get loads of your comments in on this one. Talk to me about signings. Talk to me about where you think Manchester United will be heading into the international break. Could we actually be in the top four, people? That is a possibility. Manchester United could finish this next group of games heading into the international break in October with 13 points. And that's what we can max out on. 13 points after 7 games. And United would probably be in the top 4. Like, that's not bad. You always say, look at the table come October time. Look at the table after a few games in. And you can't ignore that, I don't think. But there is a chance Man United will finish in the top 4 after these next 2 games. It sounds absolutely crazy, doesn't it? And this is what I mean. Does it not sound weird, me saying United in the top 4? It does. Beat Brentford, beat Sunderland. That could happen. Why are we not thinking about that? Because of what we've seen before. because we've seen this team just completely capitulate. But if you've got a new team in there, like I said, 9 Inos players in the starting lineup tomorrow, that different mentality, this is why it's so important right now. For United to get into the top 4 after 7 games of the season and be there, imagine the confidence that will breed into Manchester United's squad going into these international breaks. That, I think, is massive. And then coming back to play Liverpool at Anfield, being in and amongst it rather than being bottom half of the table again, expecting to be beaten, that changes the mindset in that game. And all of a sudden, you start to get a bit of momentum. But it comes off winning your run-of-the-mill games, your mid-table team games. And if you don't do that, you don't deserve to be up there, and you don't deserve to be talked about, and you probably don't deserve to be in the job. And that's where Ruben's at right now. It's time to unleash everything that he's brought in, and let's just play some Amorim players. And I'm hoping that we will have 5 of Ruben Amorim's signings on the pitch tomorrow. That being Lamens, Dorgu, Sesko, and Bumo, and Cunha. That's half a Ruben Amorim team right there. And there's enough in the rest of that team to manage a result against Brentford. I don't care what anybody's saying. So, yeah, let's get into the comments on this. How many points will we manage? Will we manage to get by the end of the Christmas period? The damage will be done by the time we get to the January window. I can't see us getting above 10th this season. Well, straight away there. Everything positive that I just said has been blown out by United focus. Hey, look, no, I'm not saying that that's wrong for people to feel that way. I've just explained that that's how a lot of the Man United fan base are feeling. You look at the team on paper and you think we should be winning, but you've seen this team completely collapse before. John Lacey says, no Maguire, we are vulnerable at set pieces. Chelsea game proved that. It's really, it didn't, did it? It was just one moment. And Maguire might not have made it to that header either. We can't say because Maguire would have been on the pitch, he would have stopped that goal going in from Chalobah against Chelsea. Look, and we cannot just be playing Harry Maguire because we're susceptible at set pieces. We've got enough headers of the ball there. We need to learn to go past these players, I think, is what I'm trying to say. We need to let Maguire go. Our thinking is so wrong. We need to compete and not live in the terrible past, says Gehun. MA says, Maguire has been one of the worst signings in the club's history. 140 million outlay and not done anything in the time to show he was worth it. The players, it's not his fault, though, is it, that United spent that money? That was Ed Woodward in his finest. United never should have been spending that much money on a Harry Maguire. And them days are gone. You can look back on them days, but it is like closing the door on the bad transfers. I'm not saying Maguire has been bad. I'm saying it was a bad transfer in terms of how much money Manchester United spent on Harry Maguire. That's what I'm saying. And it does sort of close the door on that old period, doesn't it, as well, I think. When you're moving players like Maguire on, I think it just shows that United are actually moving on to that next stage then, and that next step is there. Let's get some more in on this. Settling for mediocrity is not the way forward, says Tim. I'm guessing that's with Maguire staying. 150 for Baleba, would not pay half that price, and you wouldn't now with the way that he's playing. That's the point I was trying to make last night, actually. Joe says, love the show, Adam. Just joined. Forgot gentleman's agreement means nothing. Looking at the grief Daniel Levy had with Harry Kane, let him go to Bayern. And what? No, to be honest, mate, in terms of the gentleman's agreement, I really don't care for them. I just know that the player's probably going to be leaving anyway. I said it. I think I said it yesterday. What was it? Intermediaries and gentlemen's agreements. Those were the it words through the transfer window, weren't they? It's like, what are they on about? Intermediaries, gentlemen's agreement. When were these ever a thing? Just a posh way of saying that the club know that player is going to be leaving and they need to cash in on him, really. So, yeah, no, I'm not into the gentleman's agreement thing. I mean, look at what Gyökeres had. We had the Sesko situation that Romano was talking about. A certain club, if he desires to go there, they will not stand in his way. All of that. Transfers have become so complicated, mate. They have, haven't they? And I think they're overly complicated, to be honest, right now. Manny, another super chat. Thank you, buddy. Let's talk. Let's take the reality check. We finished 15th. It's a free window rebuild. I expect 8th to 10th add substantial improvement. But next season, I demand top 4. Every fan should understand that. Manny, come on, mate. You can't go from 10th to top 4. If you're going to accept that, then you need to accept that it's going to be Europa League next season. No, mate. I totally disagree with that. Thanks for the super chat, mate. A free window, no. No, not with them positions. Yeah, I understand free window, but I'm sorry. Manchester United need to be in the Champions League next season off the back of finishing in the Europa League this season. This team is good enough, and don't forget, no European football, no excuse, no fixture pile-up, fresh players, nobody injured. Manchester United need to be top 5, top 6, and in the Europa League this season. And sorry, Manny, mate, your manager will be gone as well, going off the figures and what's been said. He needs to be in the Europa League. He needs European football. Otherwise, his job's gone anyway, mate. So that rebuild under Ruben is dead, mate. If Amorim stays for the duration of this season, I'm predicting 9th or 13th, says Jemmy. Well, not many confident people out there. This is what I mean. Like, would this change if Manchester United beat Brentford and then beat Portsmouth, Sunderland? That would put United in the top 4. All of a sudden, the environment and the outlook changes completely. And that is where we're at. Win 2 games. Did I ever feel that Manchester United would be in the top 4 this season? Look, I was saying that United should be going for top 4 at the start of the season. You all heard me. I expect to see Man United in and amongst that top 4 after 7 games. No, is my honest answer. Competing to get up there or in reach of it, yes. If we're in it, then I'm sorry, 7 games is quite substantial. 7 games was enough to get Ten Hag on the ropes and on the brink of sack last season. If United are in the top 4, then it's job done so far for a season. And let's move on from there and use that momentum. That's how I look at it anyway. So, honestly, I'd be over the moon if United were in the top 4 come the next international break. And it's crazy to think it, but just let it sink in, people. If United beat Brentford and then beat Sunderland, there is a pretty good chance that we are going to be in the top 4 heading into the international break. It sounds ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous, doesn't it? But there's your reality. 13 points it would be for Manchester United. When you look at it right now, we're only 3 points off the top 4 now. So that's what you're looking at. And then another win on top of that probably would sneak you in there. So yeah. I disagree. Maguire has been a worst signing in the club's history. For me, that's an uneducated statement. He's not been the worst in the history of the club. When you look at Jadon Sancho, he's got to be right up there. In fact, just on the back of that, because some people are talking about it in the chat, just throw names in the chat, please, everybody. Worst signing in Manchester United's let's just say the last 10 years, since Sir Alex Ferguson left, 10, 11 years, all the way through. So the Ed Woodwards, the Myrtles, the Arnolds, going into Inos' reign. Who has been the worst signing at Manchester United? Put everything into perspective as well. Dave is telling me to behave. Look, this is all around the top 4 talk. Am I asking much to beat Brentford and Sunderland? Look, this is what I'm trying to get at. Why should we be worried? Why should we be worried about this team? Like, why should we not be thinking that we can win these games? There is something inside us, isn't there, that's stopping us think it right now. And until Ruben gets it right, trusts in his team that he's got there and the signings he's made and plays the players, the new players, then we're always going to have, as a fan base, that one little doubt in the back of our minds that we can't do it. It's like, Dave there, not having to go at Dave at all and what he says there. Dave147 says, behave, Adam. And that's off the back of me saying that United are going to be in the top 4 in 2 weeks. If you beat Brentford and beat Sunderland, you're there. And that's it. Like, you cannot look at it away, but there's something telling us inside that that's not going to happen. And that's what I've got inside me as well. All I'm doing is laying out what United could do right now. And United can be in that top 4. Look, Bruno needs to start playing well, and Bumo, Cunha and Sesko need to start that link up. Bruno, discipline. Mainu getting game time. Can he adapt to a number 6 alongside Bruno and be the future for the next 3 months of Manchester United and prove to Ruben that he needs to stay there? Is Mainu willing to accept that he is better there and playing as a 6 and change everything that's about his game? Can he do that? I don't know. And that's up for Ruben, Mainu and the coaches to try and figure out. There are definite possibilities there for Manchester United with the squad that we've got right now. And I'm sorry, look, it is more than enough there to actually be up there challenging in the top 4. And this is what points I'm taking, because everyone who's competing in that top 4 in and around us, barring, I think, Bournemouth, in amongst that top 6 right now, I think it is. Everyone in and around it there have all got European football. Even Palace, European football. Do you know what I mean? Like, they have got another game to play next week before they play next week's Premier League game. So another European game to play. And then they're struggling against United. Can take advantage of this. I'm telling you that now. All right, everybody, that is us done for the day. Don't forget, in the link in the live chat right now is your chance to get tickets for the pub watch-along, the live in-person watch-along. Be there on that date, the 8th of November, United away to Spurs. The venue is booked. The tickets are now on sale. I'm not done for the day, by the way. I'm done for the show now. We've got plenty more coming up. Sorry if I said that then. Sometimes don't know what I say. We've got a lot coming up today. The press conference is around about 1 o'clock today. We're going to be live, so make sure that you're there for that, everybody. I think I'm actually on Sky Sports at about 10:30 today, this morning as well. Looking ahead probably to the Brentford game. That's going to be interesting. And then obviously we've got the evening as well with all of the news from the back of that press conference. The embargo version of it as well will be dropping late. We'll have that covered then probably in the morning as well. But yeah, busy now. It is weekend. It is here. It's game time. So the link in the live chat, we'll drop it into the description as well. So you've all got it, but it's also in the community section. That is to grab your tickets now. Only a few left, everybody. Get the tickets while you can and be part of the show in the pub watch-along. We're doing a group watch-along together for the Spurs game in November, so be part of it. Also, get your tickets now on Match Bingo as well. Link in the description. The 200% bonus is running out through this month. Again, only a few days left now, so Brentford tomorrow in that game is going to be one of your big chances to win up near 300 quid off the back of buying a £2 bingo card. Get that now. Get the link. Put FUTV in the promo code when you download the Match Bingo app. Off that link or the QR code on your screen, and then put FUTV in the promo code. Get 200% deposit bonus on top of that. Bang. There you go. Being with it. We're going to beat Brentford. Then we're going to beat Match Bingo. Everyone's going to be quids in. Well, that would be the hope anyway. Still not fully confident, no. You know what it's like. Anyway, that's us all done for this morning, everybody. Quickly, just a couple of super chats I missed there from Ant. The Gea could have saved the Titanic. Someone talking about goalkeepers there, I'm guessing in the chat. Around 8th is my prediction for the season also, he says. Needs to be more. That's not going to keep him his job, I don't think. And that is us all done. Thank you, everybody. I will see you all later on. Have a fantastic day. Don't forget, I'll be on Sky about 10:30, and then we're back here around about 1 o'clock for the press conference.